want to know about Gita because Bhagavad Gita is a book which is praised not only by Indians, it is coming from India, but also Westerners, Europeans, Americans. We quote here Henry David Thoreau and Emerson and various missionaries to India. They came to India, they read Gita, they praised philosophers like Schopenhauer. He praised Gita as the greatest metaphysics known to humanity. There's a recent book written by Francis Jacoli. He wrote a book, Bible of India. And in that he writes, Bhagavad Gita is the highest gift which humankind can have. And he showed, and there's a mathematician, he has showed that in Vedic knowledge and in Bhagavad Gita there is hidden mathematics, science. In fact, I do a seminar where in colleges basically, where I show that Bhagavad Gita has many concepts, not details. You can't find aspirin in Bhagavad Gita, of course not. But you have many concepts about medicine, about psychology. If you read 13, 14 chapter, physics, about Newton's laws, some of them are there in Bhagavad Gita. But that's hidden in Sanskrit. That's in Sanskrit. So Bhagavad Gita is a very dynamic book. And the most important subject of Bhagavad Gita is devotion. That's what we want to know from this book. But nevertheless, it has all knowledge, what we know and what we do not know. Prabhupada says in introduction, what we know and we do not know. Everything there is in Bhagavad Gita. It's a complete book. If you want to say, if I ask you what is Bhagavad Gita in 2 words, what you would like to put it as? Okay.
Science of God.
Science of God. Okay.
Absolute truth.
Okay.
Devotional service.
Devotional service, yeah.
Manual.
Huh?
Manual for life.
Okay.
Life manual.
That's a good thing. Bhagavad Gita is an instructional manual. It's a life manual. It's a manual how to lead life. And that's very important to understand because there is no subject and no manual in the entire world which is telling you how to live life. You are taught chemistry, biology, maths, physics. So much education. For what? For becoming an employee, not boss. That's an irony. To work. That's what is education for. But none of these subjects can help you to understand how to live life. You can't understand, no. You can by reading your education or reading whatever we want, science, materialistic science, we can get iPhones, watches, mic. But what to do with this life? Science can tell? No. Science cannot tell you what to do with life. In fact, it cannot even define life. I've written a book, Science Will Explain Life. I've got it. It cannot even define life. Even science wants to analyze life, but what to do with this life, what to do with this mind, what to do with this body? No laws, no science. That is Bhagavad Gita. So what do you think? What is more important? To learn how to operate your iPhone or to learn how to operate your life? Of course. That should be more important. It's common sense. But people don't have common sense. That's the idea. It's said common sense is very uncommon. It's like that. Prabhupada used to say, by the way, it might be hard, but Prabhupada used to say, modern world are producing educated fools. Yeah, Prabhupada used to say that. You're a big scientist, but you don't know how to lead your life. What's the point? What's the point of that? So this book, that's why Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said, if you throw all books in an ocean, you destroy all libraries of America. of entire word. But if we have this book, this word can be saved. But if this book is gone, there's everything around, humanity is destroyed. That is why Prabhupada says, know this book as law book. We have to know this book as law book. It's not a matter of reading. We don't read this book. We don't read this book. And it's not a book, by the way. First of all. We live this book. And this is not a book, this is Krishna himself. Prabhupada says, no? Words of Krishna is Krishna himself. So we have to live this. That's what Prabhupada wanted from us. And that is why Prabhupada says, Bhagavat and Bhagavat. It's said. And that's what Krishna is teaching in this book. How most of the Vedic scriptures, if you read, most of this knowledge can also be found in Upanishads. Is it? In fact, many Upanishadic verses are actually, Krishna repeats it verbatim in this verse, in this Bhagavad Gita. Like for example, there's a verse in, I think, 3rd chapter, I guess, last verse, almost last verse. So Krishna says, Indriyani parani ahur, Indriyabhya paramana, Vanasastu para buddhir parasastu isa. That's exact verbatim from Kathopanishad. And then Krishna says, there's an English, I'll quote English, then you will identify much. So Krishna says, mind is a best friend and best enemy as well. No? Atmayava atmana bandhur, atmayava atmana. That's also verbatim from Upanishads. So although this knowledge can be found in Upanishads and Vedas, but uniqueness of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna is also telling how to apply it. Application is not there. You might say, okay, why to read Gita? It's all there in Upanishads. But no, how do you apply it? So Krishna says in Gita, I am telling you this knowledge and also application. So what is important, knowledge or application? Yeah, if you have knowledge and if you can't apply, then that's ignorance. What's the point? You're like Karna. You know Karna? Yes. He knew how to fight, but he forgot everything at the point when it was required. So knowledge without application is a burden. And sometimes it can destroy you. Because you can get pride of knowledge if you don't apply. That is why it is said, if you try to understand this book, if you try to understand, just only understand this book, you will not be able to follow it. But if you follow it, you will understand it. That's said by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, by the way, if you read Sanskrit. So, what is this book? Let me summarize for you. How many chapters are there? 18. Okay. How many verses? 7. Are you sure? Anybody counted? So then how do you know that? Yeah. You accept authority, huh? 700. By the way, some people say 701. If you read Shankara's book, Shankaracharya's Bhagavad Gita, they'll count as 701. It's not because they have added a verse or we have deleted a verse. It's because some verses are counted, 2 verses are counted as 1 sometimes. You see Bhagavad Gita like that? In between 4 verses are counted as 1. Just counting difference, that's all. So this is Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, 700 verse. And Krishna, if you read this book daily, by the way, scripture says that you should marry Bhagavad Gita. That seriously I'm telling. So it is said in scriptures, nobody is brahmachari. You understand? This is our wife. So why? Because wife is always with you, no? So even if you want to leave her, she'll not leave you. So this book should be like that. You should always keep it, read it, try to assimilate it, understand it, and the more you read, the more you will understand. The more you follow, the more you will understand, and the more depth you will get. Every verse of Bhagavad Gita can be understood in 1,000 ways. By the way, there are 1,000 meanings to every verse. I'm not going to tell you 1,000 meanings, of course, and neither Prabhupada is going to tell. We take the most important meaning, that is pure devotion. That's okay. But by the way, every verse has 1,000 meanings. That is said in So actually it is said in Skanda Puran. There's a verse. Every verse of Vedas have 3 meanings. 3 levels of meaning, not different meanings. There are 3 levels of meaning. You understand? It's not necessary that those levels are contradictory. There are 3 levels of meaning. Just like universe has many levels of meaning, no? So we have classical mechanics, which deals with ordinary day-to-day life. Then you have quantum mechanics, which deals with microscopic world. That's a different level of meaning of universe. And then you have relativity, which deals with macro universe. There's a different level of meaning. So reality has different levels of meaning. So that's why Vedas have 3 levels of meaning minimum. And Gita has a Mahabharata. Gita is part of Mahabharata. Which chapter? Anybody knows? Yeah. Bhishma Parv. It's a part of Bhishma Parv. Every verse of Mahabharata has 1,000 meanings. And Gita is a part of Mahabharata. So it should have 1,000 meanings. So we have a spiritual meaning, we have a scientific meaning, we have a philosophical meaning, we have a logical meaning, we have an aesthetic meaning, we have an ethical meaning. There's so many levels, and that's why this book is like sandalwood. The more you rub, the more it is fragrant. It is more fragrant. So you have to enjoy Bhagavad Gita, not just cram it or read it. Then it will reveal itself. Bhagavad is going to talk to you, by the way. This book talks. Have you heard it? You read it. It will talk to you if you want to talk to it. So, let us understand devotional meaning of Bhagavad Gita. Other meanings maybe next time if we meet. But let us understand devotional meaning, because that's what Prabhupada has given us, and that's what is most important to our life. Devotion. Okay, so I'm going to interpret Bhagavad Gita from a devotional angle. What Prabhupada does in Bhagavad Gita. So we have 18 chapters. First chapter of Bhagavad Gita is, what's the name? Okay, by the way. Observing the Armies. Okay. So, anyway, okay, before that, what's the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. It's wrong. No, you're wrong. What's the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? Hare Krishna? No. That's not the first word. What is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? If you go to South India, many South Indians? If you go to South India and if you meet Madhva Sampradaya, Madhva people, or any Shankara also, and if you go and meet them and you tell them, see, I want to debate with you, because I am in ISKCON for last 20 years, and I have read Bhagavad Gita, I am a scholar, I have done VIG, MIG or whatever, so I want to debate. Okay, that's fine. So they'll ask you one question: what is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? And if you say Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra, they will say, bring laddu. Ashirvadam. Okay. They'll not talk to you. So what is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? No, come on. That's our thing. First verse of Bhagavad Gita is from where Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita. Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra is spoken by whom? So that's not first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Officially it is, but if you really ask, it's not. From where does Krishna starts giving instructions? Which verse? Second chapter?
2.9.
2.11. 2.11. And what is that verse? No, that's afterwards. Just before that. Ashochanan vashochastvam pragyavadam sabhashase katasum shananu shochanti panditaha. Krishna says, you're a fool. This is first word of Bhagavad Gita, you're a fool. That's why Prabhupada came to America and he said to everybody, you're a fool. No, Prabhupada was strong. Prabhupada said, say, I'm repeating Gita. You're fools, that's all. You're wasting your life. If you don't know Gita, you're wasting your life. Shiva said to Parvati, and that's, I think, in... Shiva is saying to Parvati in... I think it's... so this verse is quoted from... So this verse is quoted from Vaishnavya Tantra. Shiva says to Parvati, anybody who wants to attain liberation, who is hoping for liberation, without understanding Bhagavad Gita, he is full. He is fit to be loved even by a child. So this book, without this book, you cannot decode. This is a decoding book. This is another 2 words. First word is life's manual. And if you ask, okay, any other thing, Bhagavad Gita, it's a decoding book. It will help you to decode Vedic message. Because if you don't read this, you will be confused what's happening in Vedas. In fact, there's certain concepts in Bhagavad Gita which is very difficult to find in Vedas and Upanishads. For example, the concept of avatar. That's not there in Upanishads. At least explicitly. It is there, but explicitly it's not there. But Krishna says, no, I come again and again, no? So, first chapter is a preamble of Bhagavad Gita. Do you understand preamble? It's opening scene. And it is observing the armies. So, we know Bhagavad Gita, no? What setting it is spoken. 2 armies are there. Arjuna is depressed. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. And then Arjuna says, Krishna, I don't want to fight. And do this, reasons. So many reasons. And then he's frustrated. He's fearful. He is compassionate for his brothers and sisters. And he is trying to be a nice man. Why should I kill people? I'm a good person. And by first chapter, Krishna is teaching that this is also our life. This is our life. So most of the people are stuck in first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The chapters of Bhagavad Gita are almost like a ladder. And what's the central message of Bhagavad Gita? What is central message of Bhagavad Gita? Okay, surrender. Yeah, surrender. Surrender is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. If you expand surrender, message of Bhagavad Gita is to love God and to be loved by God. Both things, just not to love Him, but to be loved by Him. Is it? What is more important, to love Him or to be loved by Him?
Love by Him.
Of course, no. You can love your girlfriend, but if she doesn't love you, what's the point? You can keep on loving her. And she says, get lost. So, what's the point, no? So, to be loved by Him, that is a message of Bhagavad Gita. We have to do devotion in such a way so that He likes us. He start liking us. Not just we like Him. That's not the point there. And I'll come to this point later. So that's the central message of Bhagavad Gita. And that is why another 2 words for Bhagavad Gita is, it's an open invitation. Krishna is saying, this is my invitation letter to you, come to me. This invitation, no? Krishna is calling you. Come to me, love me, so that I love you. And that's all life for. So 2 words for Bhagavad Gita. Instructional manual and decoding book and open invitation. This, if you understand these 2, then you can understand Gita. Okay. So first chapter is like that. We are confused, we are frustrated. Okay, fine. What is the teaching of first chapter? What does first chapter, Krishna, what he wants to tell us through Arjuna? That's second chapter. First chapter. First chapter is very important. Without first chapter, nobody can understand Bhagavad Gita. It is setting a stage. And the central message of first chapter is, Krishna, what Arjuna is trying to do. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, I will not fight. Krishna says, why? Arjuna says, because so many reasons, no? Females will become, what do we say? Degraded and polluted, and vidva. What do you say? Vidva is widows. Yeah, sorry. The widows, ancestors, they'll be destroyed, and there will be chaos practically. So, and Arjuna says, well, if they are bad, why should we be bad? The Duryodhana is nonsense, and we are trying to kill them, and for a piece of land, why should we be nonsense? The point is, Arjuna is trying to keep morality over devotion. That's the crux of first chapter, if you really think about it. And that's what we do. Or probably we are doing as a devotee also. We try to keep morality over devotion. Krishna says, no chance. Krishna says, forget about being bad and good. Serve me. If you serve me and you're looked upon by this world as a worst person in entire pages of history, still you should serve me. Don't worry about that. And if you don't serve me and people praise you as a good person, people might praise you, but I will not praise you. That's all. So that's the message. Devotion is more important than morality. Morality. You understanding? So we don't want to be good, we don't want to be bad. That's where Arjuna was stuck. They are bad, we are good. If I do this, society will become bad. If we don't fight, then society will be good. Krishna says, you fool. That's what he starts. Pandita, you are trying to be intelligent? You're number one fool. If you don't serve me, everything will become failure. Because you are short-sighted. I know past, present, future. Your actions will lead to a bad consequence. That's what. It might seem good now, in long run it will be bad. So serve me. And that is why morality is actually on the basis of body. No? Morals are at the level of social. No? Social norms. Morals are social norms. Social norms means bodily connection. And devotion is connecting with soul. Because Arjuna is stuck on moral platform, Krishna starts second chapter with the knowledge of body and soul. To get him out of that concept of morality, which is very difficult to get out. It's very easy to get out of immorality. That's common sense. You can understand. Don't harm anybody. No? If you tell children, don't harm anybody, don't speak lie, he'll understand. But if you tell a child, don't be a good person, he'll say, what? You're mad? He'll not, even normal people cannot understand that. Don't be a good person. Not bad, not good. Okay. How do you understand that? To understand this.
Just clarification.
Yeah.
So my understanding is you're saying devotion is in a different dimension.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Yeah,
level.
it's on soul level.
Yeah, and the morality is in a different dimension, just a relative.
Yeah, relative. Bodily level, relative. It's all relative. What is good, what is bad, it's relative, no? You can't define what is good, what is bad in real sense, because what is good can become bad in certain circumstances, what is bad can become good. Just like killing your spiritual master is bad. But now it is good. Krishna says, kill Bhishma. And Arjuna was saying, Prabhupada mentions in the purports, first chapter, Prabhupada says, Arjuna is saying to Krishna as if, Krishna, you are telling to me kill my spiritual master. Have you killed your spiritual master in any of your incarnations? You didn't do that. Why are you asking me? That's nonsense. But Krishna says, no, now you should do this. Because now, although it is bad universally, but at this time it is good. Because if you don't kill your spiritual master and you defy my order, then that's bad. So it's relative, no? So to actually get Arjuna out of that moral, trap. We are trapped, no? We have a lot of trapping. That's called conditioning. You understand conditioning? So we are all trapped. We are trapped in this body. We are trapped in our moral ideas. We are bonded. This is called bondage. It's not just body. It's your ideas, your body, your social framework. You're all stuck up here. So to get him out, first you have to convince that person that you're not this body. Otherwise you can't get out of this concept of good. Bad, okay. Good, how can you understand that? So that is why if you go in India, and if you tell, even in America, if you tell people, see, the point is, we have come to tell you that don't be bad and don't be good. We are not interested in bad things or good things. We are not interested in hurting anybody or helping anybody on level of body. They'll say, come on, you don't have any compassion or what? That's what they're going to say, no? And that's what Krishna says, your compassion is misplaced. He said that. Prabhupada quotes. Prabhupada says, okay, fine, that's compassion, but that's on bodily level. What's the use of that compassion? Compassion should be at spiritual level. So Krishna has to begin Gita with the second chapter is contents of Gita summarized. That's its name. So second chapter begins with knowledge of body and soul. That's the most important thing. Krishna says, Arjun, even if you win this fight, and if you don't have this knowledge of body and soul, you have not won, you have failed. Prabhupada quotes in Bhagavad Gita from an Upanishad, a person who don't understand his body, he's not body, his soul, he's a miser. He quotes in Bhagavad Gita, you read that verse. He's failed his life, that's all. So second chapter, Krishna gives knowledge of body and soul. And then he gives knowledge of God also, little bit, about devotion. Practically summarizes everything. No? He gives a summary. Just like any person who comes new to devotion. So what we give you a summary, no? Just like I am giving summary, okay, this is Krishna, this is God, your body, you're not body, your soul, you have to chant and everything. Krishna is doing like that. But the point is, only having a summary of devotion is not devotion. Only having knowledge of devotion is not devotion. You have to have the realization of that, no? So we all know we are not this body, but even after knowing, we do not know. We don't know. At least I don't know. It's not easy to understand we are not this body. We feel we are this body, no? At feeling level, we feel. At theory level, we understand. So Krishna says, okay, fine. I have given you a summary of Gita, everything. Even surrender, he talks second chapter. I have summarized everything. But now from third chapter to 18th chapter, I'll tell you how to realize this. That's entire Bhagavad Gita all about. I told you application. Application. That's the major chunk of Bhagavad Gita. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. Application. So how to realize that I am not this body? How to realize this is Krishna? We know He's God, but we don't realize that. Okay, what's the difference between knowledge and realization? I'm using the word realization, but what do you mean by that?
Just knowing is knowledge, and you implement and understand its realization.
Okay, good. Realization means when you are able to implement that knowledge. But what do you mean by implement? Can you elaborate?
I give a very crude example to people that everybody reads on a pack of cigarettes smoking kills, and everybody knows what is smoking and what is kills.
But they don't.
It's just the information or knowledge. Realized is when you quit smoking.
This is an example of realization, but I want a definition of realization.
When you
see?
Okay.
This is the difference.
So realization is when you understand the knowledge, the implication of it, and the ill effects of not implementing.
Okay. Anything else? You know what? I'll just. Can I debate with you?
No, you can.
So the point is, your explanation seems theoretical, not exactly at realization level. Okay. It's more of logical explanation. But I need a definition of realization. Realization is beyond logic. First, we have to keep in mind. So, although it is beyond logic, but still we can define it. How do you do that? So just like Mahaprabhu, although love is beyond logic, but nevertheless Mahaprabhu defined it. So that definition I want of realization. What's that? What is a crux of difference between knowledge and realization? So, or in other words, how do you know that you're realized? Okay.
To actually act on that platform of that knowledge.
Experience.
Okay, good. Experience.
Understand and
okay, so Krishna defines realization in Bhagavad Gita. I'll not tell you the shlok, it is homework for you. You find the verse, but Krishna says, knowledge is that which can be destroyed. Realization can never be destroyed. That's realization. So you're not this body, you know you're not this body, but you'll forget it after some time, no? You forget it. You go out, you forget, then you read, then you remember. If you're realized, you'll never forget, even in your sleep. That's realization. That is called akhanda gyan. You know Hindi? That's the technical word. Akhanda gyan. Knowledge which can never be broken. Ahituki apratihata. Apratiyat. It is never broken. every second you are conscious, you are not this body, you are soul. Then you are realized. For example, I just give the example, famous example. Like we wear this shirt. You are all wearing shirt, no? Or maybe what? So at night you will go and change your dress. So do you get fearful to remove your shirt? Why? 24 hours it's revealing. Maybe you are this. Maybe you are your shirt. Are you ever confused? Never. So many years. You are never confused you are this shirt. Although this shirt is on your body entire day. Similarly, a realized person will never be confused although he is in this body entire day. No confusion. I am not this body, that's all. That is the level of realization which can never be broken. That knowledge which can never be broken. In any circumstance, in any time, in any place, by any person, that is realization. Which is beyond time, place, person, which is transcendental, which is beyond modes. That's what we say, technically. So that's realization. So now Krishna will tell you how to realize this. So are you interested to realize you're not this body? Or you're happy with knowledge? Anybody is happy, you can leave, that's okay. There's no problem. You can all, if you're happy with knowledge, that's okay. But we're not happy with knowledge. We want realization. We want to realize we are not this body. We want to realize we are soul. We want to realize that there is soul of soul. Krishna is soul of soul. We want to come in contact with him, not just lead a life like that and die like that. That's not a good idea. So, okay. Anybody has realization now that he's not this body? Nobody. Really realized. Not some kind of conception. Okay. Anybody has realization that Krishna is there within your heart? I don't think so. It's difficult, no? So, the question is, why are we so happy? Why are we so happy?
Because we are on the bodily platform.
Why are we so happy in devotion? That's my question. We have zero realization. We have simple knowledge. And still we are happy. Why? Prasadam? Yeah, okay, good. That's a good answer. If you can realize this fact that you don't have any realization, your heart will cry to understand that platform. And that's what Prabhupada says. You will become eager. That eagerness will come. I want to attain that. And this is important to understand that, because if you don't understand, then practically you can lead whole life assuming that you know things. That happens, no? That happens. In Gaudiya Math, in ISKCON, in any institution that happens. Okay, we are devotees, we are doing this, and you can just lead your life in assumption. But it is important to know this fact that we have no realization. To realize this fact, we have no realization. That's the first step. That's the first step. That can be understood by mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, illusion will not even let you understand that you have no realization. She will not allow you to understand. She will make you convinced you know things. That is technically called as, what's the term in Sanskrit for that? No, illusion will do that, but the process by which we cannot understand that we don't understand. What is that? Ahankar. That's ahankar. She'll not let you leave this. And we'll keep on thinking in our mind, I know, I understand, I know. There's not much I don't know. So I have read Gita so many times, so I know it. It's cool, but that is old age, Krishna is supreme, chant Hare Krishna Prasad. Finish. That's all, finish. What's there more to it? Okay. And it's not like that. We are not even zero. We are negative. Now we are at risk. Prabhupada says we are at risk. That's why Prahlad says, no, padam padam yad vipadam. Every step there is a danger. And there is a danger. You're walking without support. Realization is a support, no? It's a support so that you don't fall down. You're walking without support, and any time she can mislead you and mislead you into wrong goals of life, into wrong directions, and we waste our life. That's all. Finish. So that is why it is important to have realization, is it? So third chapter Krishna begins. Okay, how to realize this? Let us come to the point. All Upanishads, all Vedas are talking about theory. You are not body, you are soul. This is Ishvara, Paramatma, Brahman, Parbrahm. But nobody is telling how to realize. Now, that is why Krishna came and spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. Even though there were Vedas and Upanishads, people were there Pandits. But they were Pandits. And that is why Krishna says, Nanu Shochanti Pandita. You are acting like Pandit, but you are fool. Because you only have knowledge. So, what is the name of third chapter? Karma Yoga. Okay. So, Karma Yoga, Krishna says, the first step to realization is Karma Yoga. Now, what do you mean by Karma Yoga? One word. Can you tell in one word what is Karma Yoga?
Detachment.
Okay, let me ask you. Maybe you're right. But how does Prabhupada define Karma Yoga as? That is why this Gita is unique. No, that is I think 5th chapter. But maybe you're right, but I'll come to this point. Karma Yoga, it is. Karma Yoga is, if you want one word, that is service. Any action done for Krishna is Karma Yoga, no? Karma means action, Yoga means linking with God. Any action you do for Krishna is Karma Yoga, and that we call as service. Any service, no? Cooking is Karma Yoga. Prabhupada takes Karma Yoga as devotion in this Gita, in his translations. He doesn't go by the other understanding of Bhagavad Gita, which previous acharyas gives, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga, and Jnana. He doesn't do that. Although he mentions a little bit of this ladder in 6th chapter, but he doesn't do that. He gives real understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Karma Yoga is devotion. The part of devotion which deals with actions, that is called as Karma Yoga. You understand? So, you know maths, set and subset? Okay, if you take devotion as a set, the subset where there are activities, that is Karma Yoga. That's all. So, Karma Yoga is devotion in one sense. But actions in the realm of devotion is called Karma Yoga. So, what is book distribution? Karma Yoga. If you want to put it like that, it's Karma Yoga. Prabhupada says, do act for him. And what is making prasad? Karma Yoga. What is cleaning temple? Everything comes into bracket of Karma Yoga. Prabhupada says like that, Krishna Consciousness, if you read properly, if you read carefully. So Krishna says, first step if you want to realize is, what do you have to do? Service. And that's what we ask people, no? Start serving Krishna, okay. Like, okay, we give you summary, and now go and wash pots. That's what we do. So then, come on, I'm not supposed to read or what? No, first go and wash pots. That's what we generally do.
Actions towards to Krishna only or other people?
No, only Krishna.
Helping to others.
Actions done for other people is called karma, not karma yoga. That is ordinary actions. It's not karma yoga. We people confuse that. Serving others, is that karma yoga? People think, if you go to India, you ask, are you bhakti yoga, karma yoga? They say, we are karma yoga, you are bhakti yoga. Panditji, that's okay. They're like, it's not like that. But that's not maintaining your family and helping society. That's good. That is good. No, that is nothing. That is nothing. I'll come to that point. But that is nothing. Helping others, maintaining your family, that is, I like to put it as that is jugaad. Just to live in this world, Somehow you are surviving. So you have a wife, you have children, you have house, money, some society, some exchange with society. Otherwise, if you don't help them, they'll not help you. How will you live in the society? Is it? So that's all compromise. That's nothing to do with karma yoga or devotion. It's from absolute platform, it has no value. No value. Absolute platform, no value. That's your business. That is not Krishna's business, no. That's your business, your family, your children, your society. Krishna says, what should I do with that? You have to handle.
Krishna won't love us that you are doing that.
Krishna doesn't care for that. If you help people, why Krishna cares? First of all, we don't know how to help them. That's one thing. And why should Krishna care? Millions of universes have come and gone. Come on. Millions of universes, millions of people have come and gone. They die again, take birth again. What your help can do? Small help. From Krishna's point of view, it has no value. Krishna's point of view, you have to love him. That's all. Finish. Chapter is closed. That's all. And I'll come to this point. But remember that, ask me afterwards. It's an important question. And I must speak about that. Okay? But let me finish. So, third chapter is Karma Yoga. Okay? You start with service. But the point is, when you serve Krishna, when you keep on serving him, if you serve him without knowledge, that service will not lead you to realization. Is it? If you keep on cleaning the floor of a temple without proper knowledge, what will you become next life? Huh? Sweeper. You're not going back to Godhead. You might become sweeper in a Hindu temple near your colony in America. You don't go back to God, because action should be backed up with knowledge. Or if you want to put in technical terms, action is nourished by knowledge. That's a proper word. I'm translating exact Sanskrit for that. Action is nourished by knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you don't nourish action. So, she's going to give some knowledge to them. The actions are nourished and they become settled. Knowledge matters, huh? They don't have knowledge, so they are becoming naughty. They don't know what to do, what not to do. But we have knowledge, so we are like decent, okay. So knowledge matters. So action without knowledge will not lead to realizations. So that is where fourth chapter is transcendental knowledge. He gives knowledge. Okay, I have told you what to do for me, service, karma yoga, and now I am going to tell you jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is also bhakti yoga, but that part of bhakti yoga which is dealing with knowledge, we call it as jnana yoga. So Prabhupada translates jnana yoga as also as devotion. You go and read. You are understanding my point? That part of bhakti yoga which deals with action, we call it as karma yoga. That part of bhakti yoga which deals with knowledge, we call it as jnana yoga. So when you are reading Bhagavatam, you are doing jnana yoga. You are taking knowledge connected to Krishna. That's jnana yoga. Okay. So hear me properly, and then who is this? I didn't notice. Okay, Mr. Krishna. Okay, so fine. So fourth chapter is Jnana Yoga. So that part of Bhakti Yoga which deals with knowledge is Jnana Yoga. So Krishna gives Jnana. Krishna says, back up your actions with knowledge. Otherwise you are going to go nowhere. And that is why, but how to combine knowledge and action? That's a problem. Because when you're acting, you forget knowledge. When you're reading, you forget action. No, it happens like that, no? When you're cooking, when you're doing many things, you forget thinking about philosophy and you're like fully engaged in that, or maybe politics. You go into politics. You forget knowledge. And when you're reading, then people forget doing things, like you have to balance. That's very important, especially in our life also. So fifth chapter is action and how to balance both. Action, service and knowledge. Or sadhana and service, basically. It's difficult to balance, no, both of them. So Krishna says, okay, for how much amount of knowledge you should take, how much action you should do, how you should combine. That's fifth chapter. You all understanding? Okay. But there is a point. Even if you combine knowledge and action, so remember, knowledge nourishes action and action matures knowledge. Both way. If you keep on acting, your knowledge matures. You get experience, no? Experience is mature knowledge. And if you take knowledge, your action becomes refined. So it should be both ways. So fifth, the essence of fifth chapter is this. That knowledge nourishes action and action matures knowledge. I am not saying this Yamunacharya says, by the way. It's said in Gita also. Fifth chapter if you read nicely. So okay, fine, this is done. But there's a problem. Even if you do this, if you balance, if you take good knowledge, do service, lot of service, but if you're not attentive, then you may slip. Your mind might slip. You'll forget everything. Is it? So that's why sixth chapter is Dhyana Yoga, and Prabhupada translates Dhyana Yoga as devotion also. So Dhyana means attentiveness. You have to link your attentiveness with Krishna. So you have to be attentive. Be attentive while serving, while taking knowledge. Be attentive. Don't be frivolous. Now, what do you mean by attentive? Can anybody tell? So what should we do? We should be grave. Somebody says, Mataji, can you give me halwa? Stop it. Attention. You got, like, people think like that. You're not supposed to laugh. So attentiveness is not graveness, by the way. Prabhupada was very jolly and happy person. He used to laugh, he used to joke. So what is the definition of attentiveness?
Thinking of Krishna every time? Being focused on it?
This is a very broad definition. This is even a child can tell. I want some... That's okay, but some refined definition. Refined. This is a very broad...
Being cognizant that, everything is source is Krishna.
No, don't bring Krishna. I want a universal definition of attention.
To be in the moment.
Like if you want to tell Muslim, you will not put Krishna or...
To be present.
To give you 100%.
To be in present.
To be in the moment.
Prabhupada defines attention as Gita. Read Bhagavad Gita nicely. In purport, Prabhupada says.
Concentration of mind.
Okay, concentration. Then you have to define what is concentration. Then you are falling in trap. Then you have to define concentration. So it's...
Being focused?
Okay, good. So can you refine it? Focused what? Yeah, good.
Means when you're doing something, you're just into that, not...
No. Now you're going away. You came close, but now you're going away. You got close.
When your mind is actually aware of what you're doing.
Anticipating the next result.
Attention, Prabhupada defines as being focused on goal. Goal you have to bring in picture. If you lose the goal, no matter how much concentration you are doing work, it's useless. What's the point? So Prabhupada says because of lack of knowing goal, people are anxiety. That's the exact statement in Gita. Prabhupada says. So attention is linked to goal, prayojan. So focus on goal, that is attention. That is why 6th chapter Krishna says, no matter what you are doing, don't forget the goal of what you are doing. Fine, you have got knowledge, you have got action, service, you are balancing, but don't forget why you are doing. Why we are doing all these things? I just told you why we are doing all these things. To love Krishna and to be loved by Him. To please Him, to be loved by Him. If you forget this, then your all activities become almost in one sense it's waste. It's not never waste, but it's almost gone, So don't forget the goal of life, love of God. Goal of life is not to make temples. No. Goal of life is not to distribute books. That's not the goal of life. Making temples, distributing books, doing programs, eating prasad. This is all service. But for what? For attaining the goal of life, love of God. Do you understand? And that is very important because generally we as devotees, there's tendency to actually think this is as a goal and we are stuck up doing these things. and you forget, what's the goal of life. And people are just keep on doing. It keeps on going mechanically after some time, no? Like for example, Mangala Arati. So how many of you are as enthusiastic as you were when you were new? Probably not, no? When we were new, we were doing Mangala Arati then. So Mangala Arati? Mangala Arati, morning we do Arati, 4 o'clock. So when we were new, we used to get up at 2 o'clock, chant Hare Krishna and get ready for Mangala Arati, But now after 20 years, okay, Mangala Arati, when let Shankh blow, I'll go. That happens like that. It happens with. So that will happen. We'll become, what can we say, stilted? Yeah, you become. Yeah, your speed goes down, you slow down because you lose focus on goal.
How can I know Krishna loving me?
Okay, I'll answer your questions afterwards. Let me finish. Probably you'll get the answers in between. Write it, no problem. Okay, so do you understand? So 6 chapters, be attentive. Attentive means be focused on goal. So please come together and also talk what is the goal of life. Remind yourself. Don't just remind yourself, Prabhu, you have to get him down and get that money and this and this. That is important. But you have to make yourself remember, love is a goal of life. Don't forget that. Don't forget. Okay. And what's the name of 7th chapter? Knowledge of? Okay, now the point is, okay, you are focusing on your goal of life, love. But you have to reach there now. You are attentive, you are doing service, you take knowledge. Everything good. But the point is, if you have to love Krishna, you have to know about him. So love, as soon as you bring the topic of love, it automatically demands the knowledge of the person whom you love. Otherwise, how do you love him if you don't know that person? So that is why Krishna now in 7th chapter he gives his knowledge. Okay, I am giving you my knowledge. That has to be, that also has to be there somewhere in your picture. Try to understand me. You are doing everything, simultaneously try to increase your knowledge about me, knowledge of absolute truth. And 8th chapter, attaining the Supreme. So the question is, if we know Krishna, if we love him, then what will happen? No, people can ask, okay, why do you want to love Krishna? What do you achieve? Better earn billions of dollars, Why I love Krishna? Krishna says, no. If you love me, 8th chapter, you will come to me. If you love money, you will go to money. If you love spirit, you will get spirit. If you love flesh, you will be born in flesh. That's Bible says it. Christ. If you love spirit, you will be born in spirit. If you love flesh, you will be born in flesh. If you love matter, you will become matter. Is matter, no? If we love matter, we will eat matter, we will become matter, we will shit matter. Only matter. That's what is happening with us, no? We are forced to eat matter. We are matter. And stool is also matter. And we like matter. And it's all matter. And matter matters to us. That's all. That's all life. Our life has become because we want it. So Krishna says, but if you love me, then you will attain me. There is no matter there, only spirit. Matter get destroyed, but spirit never get destroyed. So that is eternal realm. This is temporary. So attaining the Supreme, and what's happening? Something is happening. Why the sound is coming? Anyway, okay. So that's 8th chapter, okay? So after this life, we will go back to God. Krishna, finish, everything finish. We don't want to come to America. We don't want to come to Charlotte or Raleigh. Who wants to come? No? Do you want to keep on continuing this program? Birth after birth? No. You don't want to. Somebody else will continue. We'll go back. You don't want to continue. It should continue, but you have to go back. What are you doing?
Correct.
So that's 8th chapter. And what is the 9th chapter? Yeah. Most confidential knowledge. That's a 9th chapter. So Krishna says, okay, you know me. Now the point is, we were serving him, we were trying to take his knowledge, is it? We were being attentive. But now Krishna in 9th chapter, he gives most confidential knowledge. He says how to serve me purely. Because when you serve Krishna, then there's tendency to actually ask him something. Is it? What's happening? I'm getting disturbed. You are touching this?
The sound maybe because the battery is going down.
Oh, okay. So matter, everything get destroyed, In spiritual world, mic will never become, there's no battery loss. You can keep on speaking 24 hours. That's spirit. So 9th chapter is actually fine-tuning your devotion. Fine-tuning. That's 9th chapter. Most confidential knowledge. Is it? So we might be serving Krishna, we might be discussing about him, but we might have certain kind of desires for ourselves, no? And Krishna wants to even purify that. If we don't serve Krishna without any expectations, then we will not develop any love. Is it? To develop love for somebody, you have to serve him without any expectation. Just like mother loves a child. Because she serves him without any expectation. She doesn't want anything. She's not even thinking he will grow old and take care of me. No problem, you be happy. Is it? So then she starts loving. In fact, mother loves the child more than father. It happens like that because she's 24 hours with the child. She's taking care of the child. So much suffering, and she says, okay, fine, that's fine. So that is 9th chapter. Most confidential knowledge. Now, what do we want from Krishna in return? We as a devotee. Now there's a question. We are doing devotion, but our devotion is mixed with our desires. Krishna wants to remove those desires and make you pure devotional service. So what do we want from Krishna now as devotees? Okay, when people go to temple, they ask for money. Is it? Or maybe blessings or whatever, good home. So they are doing devotion, but their devotion is mixed. They are not even doing devotion. They are doing something they want to do. As devotees, we are doing devotion, but our devotion is also mixed. Our devotion is absolutely not pure. And you might ask me, how can I tell that your devotion is not pure? How do I know? How do I know? Am I a, what do you say, magician? Or you might say, how do you know my devotion is pure? How can you tell my devotion is not pure?
Because I'm still living.
Huh? No, that's okay. Okay, living. So, do you understand my question? How do we know that our devotion is not pure? Okay, let's talk about ourselves. How do you know that my devotion is pure or mixed?
Until we have desires.
Okay, so what kind of desire? Fine.
Until we have material desire.
Okay, what kind of material desires? Most of us, at least gross desires are not there for most of us here, no? Our aim of life is not money. We need money, but our aim is not money. So we need house, but our aim is not house. We understand, okay, this is all temporary. But still we are not doing pure devotion, because had we been doing pure devotion, we would have met Krishna face to face. He will not even wait for a second to meet us if we are doing pure devotion. He will not wait. He wants to meet us. And he's just looking for that moment when we do pure devotion. He'll come and meet us. And where is he going to meet you? In your bedroom? In your kitchen? Where is he going to come? In chanting. In holy name he'll come and meet us. That's what Prabhupada says. Name, form, qualities, past tense. He'll come, he'll reveal himself in holy name. But he's not revealing himself, no? Is he revealing to anybody? In dreams he's playing flute? Maybe. But he's not revealing in chanting. In dreams you might see Krishna, but not while chanting. In India people say, in dreams we saw Krishna. So I generally tell them, dreams everybody can see, but in chanting if you see, then in chanting you sleep. You don't see Krishna. Chanting is a test. So Krishna will meet us. So what kind of desires we have now? That's the question. That Krishna is not coming to us. It means our devotion is not pure. It is mixed. What is it mixed with?
Desire.
For all of us? Desire to?
Desire to be happy in devotion.
Okay. Yes. We have desire to get peace and happiness. And that's why Krishna is holding himself. That's also a mixture. That's why 9th chapter is called Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam. Most confidential knowledge. Until unless Krishna doesn't tell you, he will not be able to make out. Gross things everybody can make out. Okay, don't ask for money, don't ask for this, blah, 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 blah. But when you come to this point of don't ask even for happiness from Krishna and peace, that's difficult to understand, no? We want to be happy, no? Everybody wants to be happy with Krishna, no? If Krishna tells, chant my name, I'll give you a lot of sufferings. If Krishna tells you, you chant my name very sincerely and I'll send you to hell and your whole life will be a havoc. Will you chant?
No.
Most of us will choose no. But a pure devotee, he'll say yes. Because he doesn't care for his happiness. What he cares only that Krishna wants, I should give him. That's what his care is. That is love. That is love. If a child says to his parents, please give me 1 lakh rupees, I want to open a business, parents will give, no? And if he says, I just lost all money, give me 2 lakh rupees, they will give. And then he loses that money, he says, another give me 3 lakhs. Parents will say no, but eventually they'll give. Although their whole savings are, they're getting, but in front of child, they are helpless, you know. So they have to help child. That is love. So love is, we don't even want happiness and peace. What we want is, whatever Krishna wants from us, we should do that. Bas, we are doing that. So that is why there are many prayers. Krishna, even if you want to send me to hell, no problem. No, Prabhupada quotes Mukund Mala Stotra. That even if you send me to hell, no problem. If that's your will, I gladly accept it. If you are happy to give me sufferings, that is my happiness. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says. And if you are unhappy by seeing me happy, then that happiness of mine is unhappiness. That is love. To understand love is very difficult. And that is why this is most confidential. Chapter's name is Most Confidential Knowledge. You can read it, but still it will remain most confidential. It's there, but it's... If it was just, you could have understood, then the name of the chapter would not have been Most Confidential Knowledge, or it would have been hidden. But it's there, but still it's not easy to practice that from your heart, because Krishna will test you also. He will test you. He tested Pandavas, no? They underwent so many sufferings, but they gladly accepted, no problem. They say, okay, fine, Krishna, still you are my Lord. Draupadi, what happened to her? Chiraran, in front of everybody, but nevertheless she called for Krishna. Okay, no problem, that's okay. Krishna, if you desire this, that's fine. We are happy in that. So that's most confidential knowledge. And that is fine-tuning devotion. See, that's fine-tuning. You have to get rid of all trace of personal happiness and satisfaction and peace. No. You do devotion, you will get happiness. That's another thing. Happiness is a side effect of devotion. But we don't want that. If Krishna says, what do you want? If Krishna comes and says, what do you want? What is your answer?
I want to pursue.
Yeah, I want love. No? I want you. So that should be our answer, not peace, satisfaction, happiness. But nevertheless, when you do devotion, as a side effect, you will be happy. You'll naturally be happy because it's a susukham kartum. It's a happy process. You'll automatically be happy. You will automatically experience peace. You will automatically experience satisfaction. But don't stop there, because that's not what we want from Krishna. We want love. Until unless we get love, we are not going to stop anywhere. Okay, 9th chapter. And then what's the 10th chapter? Opulence of Absolute Truth. So now Krishna says, okay, fine, you don't want from me anything, you're serving me nicely, and even though if I'm giving you sufferings, still you serve me, you love me. So Krishna, by his mercy in 10th chapter, reveals himself. And that is why Gita finishes in 9th chapter. Gita finishes. What's the last verse of Gita? Manmana bhav mad bhakta madhyaji. That's almost the crux. And Krishna, and what is the first chapter of first verse of 10th chapter? Bhuya eva mahabhaho shinu me paramam vachaha. Arjun, I am again speaking to you this knowledge. Krishna says, I am telling you now, I have finished my message, but I am telling you out of my mercy. Prabhupada says in purport. So when you love him, when you focus on him, he will reveal himself. So in 10th chapter, he is revealing his opulences. Who is he? How great he is. No, you read 10th chapter. 11th chapter, he shows his opulence. He'll just not only reveal his qualities, but he'll show his form and pastimes. Name, form, and qualities and pastimes. So slowly that's coming. So that is the result of loving him. You attain him after death, but even while living, you can attain him and know him fully by his mercy. His name, form, qualities and pastimes relish that. See? So that's 10th, and what is 11th chapter name? Universal form. Okay, he shows himself. What is 12th chapter? Okay, so now what's this chapter all about? What's happening? Name of 12th chapter is devotional service, and that is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is that part of devotion which deals with Shravanam and especially Kirtanam, chanting of holy names. That is called Bhakti Yoga. You understand? So that part of devotion which deals with action is called as Karma Yoga. That part of devotion which deals with knowledge, and that part of devotion which deals with chanting his holy names with attachment is Bhakti Yoga. So all three yogas are in a big set of devotion. You understand? So I'll give you another example. Suppose you have your relatives in your house. So somebody asks, who are these? What you will say? It's my family, no? Okay. But then and then your wife and children are sitting, and then they will ask, okay, who are these? And what you will say? It's my family. So then they are family, this is family, or what is family? So that's a family, but main family is this. You understand? You're getting my point? All relatives are your family, but if you specifically ask what is family, then my wife and children. Similarly, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, everything is devotion. But if you specifically ask what is devotion, then chanting of holy names. That is why Bhakti Yoga name is given. So Bhakti Yoga is a big dimension. In that Bhakti Yoga, you again have Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. To focus, Bhakti Yoga is given name to focus that this is the most important thing, chanting of holy names. This you must never leave. If you leave chanting of holy names, out of all things in devotion, chanting of holy names is important. That is why it is called as Bhakti Yoga. Although all are Bhakti Yoga, but this is specifically named as Bhakti Yoga. Although all relatives are a family, but wife and children are a specific family. You understand? You're understanding, no? So you might not serve Krishna, you might not make prasad, you might not do distribution because you're sick, you might not be able to read Bhagavatam because you have cold, but don't leave chanting. So that's important. That's 12th chapter, pure devotional service. So Gita is finished here. Gita finished at 9th chapter, but 12th chapter also Gita finished. So we'll go? No, because there is more Gita. So what's that all about? 13th chapter, what's the name? No, not divine and demonia.
Modes of
3 modes of material nature. No? No, I think that's 13. Or nature, enjoyer and consciousness. That is 13? Yes. I think so, yeah. I think so. That's 13. Yeah, that should be 13. Nature, enjoyer and consciousness. So the point is, you are doing everything good, nice, serving, doing, Krishna is having mercy. But now you should know whether you are advancing or not advancing. You should know something, know what's happening with me. If you don't know whether I'm advancing, not advancing, so then you will say, what's happening? I'm going in right direction, not right direction. I'm shooting arrows in darkness, or I'm getting revelation of name, form, qualities. Is it imagination? It might be imagination, no? Your own imagination. Just like in India, everybody has realization of Laddu Gopal and Bake Bihari, and they hear flutes in dreams. So they might hear my lecture and they say, yeah, I'm in love with Krishna because Krishna is revealing to me. But no. So what you have to know whether you are really advancing or not. Whether is it not a trick of illusion? Illusion will trick you. She'll not leave you. She'll not leave you unless you go back to God. She is going to confuse you. Definitely. So just like after hearing lecture, you might go home and you start thinking, did he speak correct or not? I was hearing, at that time I was convinced, but what happened that time? Illusion will do something. It will confuse you. So you should know whether you're advancing or not advancing. So 13th chapter and 14th chapter tells you the symptoms of advancement. And 13th chapter name is Nature Enjoyer Consciousness. So if you practice devotion nicely, and if really Krishna is having mercy on you and everything is going on nicely and it's not imagination, then first symptom you will have is your enjoying propensity in your consciousness will reduce. 13th chapter. You understand? If you are doing devotion and you're getting dreams of Krishna daily, or maybe Krishna is coming and embracing you also, but your enjoying propensity is not reducing, then what that means? What that means?
We are not advancing.
That means you have to consult a psychiatric doctor. That's all. You have gone mad. You need some medicine. That's not devotion. So that's very important point. Your enjoying propensity should reduce. Your attraction for matter should reduce. If you're getting attracted to God, it's impossible to get attracted towards matter. It is impossible. Why? Because you have seen a higher beauty, a higher purity, selflessness, absolute mercy. And if you see that, then this world will look pale. Eternity. This is all temporary, no? This is no more attractive. So just like we are not attracted towards some stones lying on the road, no? We are not attracted. Is anybody attracted towards stones lying on the floor? Anybody having psychiatric problem? You're not attracted. They're lying. What's the point? You're not attracted. So similarly, you're not even attracted to the stones in your dreams also. They'll never come. You don't even notice. Similarly, when you experience Krishna, you will not even notice this material world. What to get to become attracted. You just forget. Krishna Smriti jar, Deha Smriti nahi yar. Chaitanya Charitamrita. You'll not even notice that you are in this body. You'll just with Krishna. So that's first point. And the second, 14th chapter is modes of material nature. So when you are advancing in devotion, second symptom is the effect of modes of nature will reduce. Mode of passion, mode of ignorance, mode of goodness. That means your sleeping, eating, everything will reduce. Mode of ignorance produces sleep. Mode of passion produces hunger, devouring, food. And mode of goodness, fine. So your hunger and sleep will reduce. Prabhupada always said in his lectures, if you're spiritually advanced, the symptom is your hunger and sleeping will reduce. You will waste less time. You will not waste time. You will not waste time. So that is second symptom. This is good, no? So Janiyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Jatad Ahitukam Bhagavatam, first canto. You know this verse? Anybody? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janiyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Jatad Ahitukam. Bhagavatam, first canto, I think second chapter. Very famous verse. Symptom of devotion is that you get renunciation and knowledge. So renunciation means detachment from matter, And knowledge means that you understand that everything what we do in material world is simply time based. Eating, sleeping, it's just we are doing to live, but it's time based. So minimize it. So okay, fine. So you know the symptoms of advancement. So don't judge your devotion by the level of bliss. That's the point. You understand? So you might be experiencing bliss, no problem. Happiness. But don't judge the advancement of devotion by level of happiness, because that might be tricky. You might be feeling happiness in music and not exactly chanting. It might happen like that. So don't be confused by that. That's a side effect. That's not what we're interested in. You don't judge your treatment by side effects, no? You don't do that. You see whether your disease is going down or not. So that's the idea. Judge by these two symptoms. That's all. Otherwise you'll become confused. Okay. This is okay, fine. So, but the next question is, Maya will try to stop you. And she's going to put obstacles in your path. And that is 15th chapter. 15th chapter is, what is the name of 15th chapter? Yoga of the Supreme. So 15th chapter Krishna says, if you want to save yourself from illusion, do one thing. Always be in association of devotees. Always be in association of devotees. So Krishna says Ashwatthavenam Suvirudam Ulam Asanga Shastrena, all these things. And he says always remain in association of devotees. He tells about himself, Yoga of Supreme, I am Purushottam, I am God, remain in my protection. His protection is offered by devotees. Okay. So 16th chapter, what's the name? Divine and demoniac. So as you are advancing in devotion more, there will be third symptom, which you can know whether you are advancing or not. You will have divine qualities. Start getting divine qualities. Demoniac qualities will reduce. Demoniac qualities means becoming angry, frustrating, violence, all these harsh speaking, all these things, it will go down. And you will have divine qualities. So Krishna gives a list of divine qualities and demoniac qualities. So you can check. If you're getting divine qualities, you're advancing in devotion. And 17th chapter, divisions of faith. If you're advancing in devotion, the fourth symptom is that your faith will increase. Faith will become strong and stable, so that you'll not be confused by anybody. You can't be confused by anybody then. Even the whole world is against you, still you will say, I will serve Krishna. Even if everybody says Shiva is God, okay, fine, but I am going to serve Krishna. Because I am convinced Shiva is not God. We have read scriptures, we have got faith, it's not blind faith. We understand who is God, who is not God, and we are going to serve Krishna. That's all. So that is 17th chapter. So 4 symptoms of advancement in devotional life. So 13th chapter is your tendency to enjoy will reduce if you are really advancing. 14th, the effect of modes of nature will reduce. That means you will stop wasting time in eating, sleeping, and useless wasting time. And then 16th is you will start getting good qualities. And 17th is your faith will become strong, actually stable, it will become stable. Your faith will be now backed with scriptural knowledge and realizations. And 18th chapter, renunciation of
perfection of renunciation.
Perfection of renunciation. That's the name of 18th chapter. So anybody can tell why that chapter is named like that, and we finish here. Why does Prabhupada name 18th chapter as perfection of renunciation? What's this? Why is not 18th chapter named as love of God? That was the aim of life, no? So that should be the name, love of God, but that's not the name. It is perfection of. Why this name like this? Okay. So because Krishna says, renounce all your stupid ideas. That's what actually Krishna does. Renounce all your nonsense, garbage in your mind. Renounce all your false ego that you think so much, that you know that you're smart, you are James Bond or whatever you're thinking about yourself. Aishwarya Rai, Amitabh Bachchan, whatever you think. I don't know what you're thinking, but everybody has some kind of their image in their mind. Just leave all those things and surrender to me. So, Hare Krishna. So 18th chapter could have been named as Surrender to Krishna. But it doesn't do that. The name is Perfection of Renunciation. At least Prabhupada names it like that. In Sanskrit it is Tyag Sannyas Yoga, something like this, yes, perfection. So why 18th chapter is not named as Surrender to God? Why it is named like this, Perfection of Renunciation? You understand? It's named in a tricky way. Because we can measure our perfection by renunciation. Because you might think you have love, but maybe it's not love. Demigods will try to confuse you. That's also happening. Not only illusion. When you're super advanced, demigods will try to confuse you. You are a lover of God. So you have to see if your attachment to yourself, to this matter, to your ideas is zero. Then you can understand that is love. You are understanding? So by darkness you understand what is light. Not by light you understand that it is light. Oh, you get my point? If you see this light, okay, good. It is nice, no? So bright. But when sun comes, then nothing. Zero. So by comparing with sun, you know this is actually not light, this is darkness. Similarly, by darkness you can understand what is light. And that is why Krishna has made this material world, to help us compare. Okay, this is darkness, that is light. See this and see me, and then you can understand. See detachment. If you're detached from darkness, then you actually really understand light. And that's why the name is Perfection of. Real renunciation is love, in other words. Renouncing everything means loving Krishna. That's all. In the service of Krishna, you leave everything. Like gopis, to serve Krishna, they left everything. They left their family, they left their ideas, they left everything. Their shame. That is love. So love is defined as perfection of renunciation. When for Krishna you can leave anything, whatever is required, without any hesitation. You understand? That is love. So that's Bhagavad Gita. To love Krishna and to be loved by Krishna. Finished. So you're all Paramahamsas now. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? I'm going to finish here now.
Earlier you mentioned about example you were giving about a person who was sweeping.
Yeah.
If a person is doing the service without the knowledge, he's not going to attain any love for Krishna. But oftentimes we say that even if you don't have a faith, come to the temple or get participate, but because that helps in the spiritual progress.
So
how do we?
Yeah, I understand your point. So if a new person comes, we tell, okay, you clean, you serve. Even if you don't have knowledge, keep on doing. And slowly if he keeps on doing, Krishna will inspire from within. And he will want to read and understand. He will take knowledge and he will advance. But he keeps on doing that. If he keeps on doing that, and he neglects willfully knowledge and hearing, okay, I'll do this, then there's a problem. That's the idea. That's the problem there. Okay. So, any questions? Or maybe to stop here?
I kind of feel that I'm just like nowhere. This is like an eye-opener for me.
Oh, good. That was my agenda. To make you feel that you are nowhere. And this lecture is successful. It's important to understand we are nowhere. Otherwise, we don't feel like advancing. Enthusiasm, we lose enthusiasm. Okay, we are there, everything is going on.
Well, that was my question basically. How do I, motivate myself to jump to the...
Yeah, so...
I don't have an idea what that thing is.
So, that's the answer. That was I began the lecture. Marry Gita. Get another wife. This. Marry it, read it again and again, again and again, again and again. Just keep it with you. And this book will reveal itself to you. And of course, chanting. So, generally we chant, but we don't acknowledge. That's what happens, no? In our busy ISKCON life, everything goes on except two things, chanting and reading. Everything goes on in ISKCON except chanting and reading. Am I right? Because of no time, probably. Some practical concerns. Or maybe because I know things. That you think, no? So that's the idea. Please, my request is read this book and always chant and associate with devotees who want Krishna in their life, who should have perfection in life. So, that's the idea. We have to advance.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah. Everybody's done with
So, you said that there are sets and there is a subset.
Yeah.
Okay? So subset is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. And the whole set is also a Bhakti Yoga?
Yeah. Whole set is Bhakti Yoga. Within that Bhakti Yoga, we have Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
So here Jnana Yoga means reading Bhagavad Gita you categorize as a Jnana Yoga?
Yeah. You take knowledge.
But Jnana Yogis are somewhere on different, because we say...
That's what I was telling in beginning. General understanding of Jnana Yogi, Karma Yogi and Bhakti Yogi is different. Traditional understanding is Karma Yogi is a person who follows dharma. Jnana Yogi is a person who follows impersonal realization. Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavan. But Prabhupada doesn't do like that in Gita. Prabhupada translates everything as Bhakti Yoga. Is it? So Prabhupada is telling you that Karma Yoga is actually Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga is also Bhakti Yoga and Bhakti Yoga is also Bhakti Yoga. He does like that in Bhagavad Gita.
And also when we take care of our family, of course with a consciousness of serving Krishna, then why it is ground zero? Why doesn't it fall under the category of Karma Yoga?
Taking care of family?
Taking care of family, taking care of spouse, children and...
Yeah. If you take care of your family with the understanding that they are part and parcel of Krishna, you have to give them devotion, then it will fall under realm of Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga. Action linked to Krishna. Otherwise not. But at the same time, we have to understand that we have to also save time. We can't just keep on doing this, no. So to chant but it is falling in realm of devotion service. Prabhupada said that if you are raising your child to become devotee, that is devotion. Finish. Anything connected to Krishna is devotion. If you kill for Krishna, that is devotion. If you speak a lie for Krishna, that is devotion. Anything connected to Krishna is devotion. So that's okay. Yeah, you can ask. Can you just give my books and that? Yeah.
We heard that you do a lot of youth preaching.
I do.
So when we ask this question, I've asked this question a couple of times.
I do youth preaching and I make people young again. Again, some energy.
So
in that chain.
Was related that
open the chain.
Most of the people here may have kids who are youth generation now.
Yeah.
And I have asked this question to my Guru Maharaj also, and he will say that okay, you have to live by examples, and you don't have to force the kids to accept this as a forceful thing. That's true, but then how do we maintain a balance? Because if we cannot ourselves improve to that level where we set as an example, but then at least we can have some contribution or the direction or guidance given to the youth. So how do we handle that? So that our youth or our kids could be...
So you're asking that how should we act?
Yes. I mean, one way is that, we act as an ideal.
Yeah.
We cannot be... I'm not sure that I will be reaching that level in this lifetime for sure.
Perhaps.
But then,
maybe.
if I totally ignore this fact that, okay, I cannot be a perfect example and my kids forget them, then also that's not good. So how do we maintain that, okay, whether I do or not?
So then you tell them, see, I am not a perfect example. Tell them, I am trying. A perfect example is these people, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta. Read their life histories, try to follow them and teach us. Become perfect and teach us. So that has to be clear. Just tell them, but we are trying, and whatever we can teach you, we will teach you. Take association and follow these ideals and advance. If they understand, that's good. That's one thing. But it might not be practical for small children. They will not understand anything. No, they will see you and follow you. And there's no alternative other than this. What's that? Bhagavad Gita? Yadat acharati shreshtas tattat evatero jano. Tattat evatero jana. So how leader acts, so shall followers shall act. No? Dependents. So what to do? Try your best. No. And pray to Krishna. That's what can be done. Nothing. But another point. Don't worry about children much. Don't worry about them. Because you do your duty to give them devotion. If they don't take devotion, no problems. It is their destiny. You will not be able to change anybody's destiny. It's impossible. Because our relationship is bodily, no? Probably last life they were our enemies. How do you know? How do you know? Probably. And Garuda Puran says, many times your children are your enemies in last life. They are born to give you sufferings. You're working for them, earning for them. So that's suffering, no? So they come to take a revenge. So that's in Garuda Puran. So that's why you see Bhaktivedanta Thakur's only 2 sons became devotees. Others were like just normal materialistic people. They even burned his body. They couldn't even understand. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is such a great soul, he should put samadhi. They burned. So an Advaita Acharya, he had 6 sons. 3 of them were completely out, space out people. Krishna, his son was a demon. Narkasur, Krishna's son. So they didn't get so much tension. They were doing their duty, rest is up to Krishna. You do your duty, you do your best. If Krishna wants, they'll become devotees in this situation also. If Krishna doesn't want, even if you're perfect idol, they'll not become devotee. If Bhaktivedanta Thakur's son cannot become devotee, then what about us? Here like complete nonsense, you know.
That's true.
So we don't have anything. In fact, traditionally, so if you go to Gopal Bhatt Goswami temple, Gopal Bhatt Goswami temple in Vrindavan, Radharaman Parivar, all these Goswamis, they also have children. They're mostly married. So I asked them, they are my friends. So I asked them, so what about your children? They told me, see, we give them devotion, we give them a devotional atmosphere, we do our best, and then we leave it on Krishna. Even if they don't do devotion, we pray to Krishna and we are sure sometime or the other in their life they will again come back if there is mercy of God, or they will not astray. So that's our job. That's all.
But then why the Bhagavatam says that the parents should not beget children if they can't make them into Krishna consciousness?
No, Pitana sasyat, Matana sasyat. So you can give, you do your duty. If they don't become, it's so then Bhagavatam says you preach, is it? Make people devotees. Now how many people we can make devotees? So many people come in programs. So should we stop preaching? No. As a father, mother, it's your duty to give devotion. You do. If they don't take, you can't do anything. Leave them. Perfect your life. पता लगा उनके चक्कर में. That's a problem. Don't worry, Krishna will take care. He is a maintainer. We are not. So that's how parents should be. That's all. Don't worry about them much. It's a great leaf? Yeah, it's a great leaf. That's true. No, it happens with the congregation preaching also. It's not just children. So congregation preaching, we have like Bhakti Vikasas and small programs all around the world. So people who preach, they think, these people who I am preaching, they should become pure devotees, no? And then they quite doesn't seem to catch it. And then we become, as a preacher, we become frustrated, these people are not understanding what's happening, We are giving them so much food, but still they're wasting our food and it's all useless. So it should not be the case, no? Because we have become attached to those people. They are mines. And I'm spending, no, they are not yours. You are doing your duty, rest is up to Krishna. Similarly, those children are not yours. That's the problem. They are not yours. They are some living entity, some roaming around. By accident, they have crashed in you. And now you have to do something and just leave them around. That's all. That's all it is. Family life. Nothing more than that. Okay, if there is no question, and she does just one question, then we can talk afterwards. Yeah.
We are into devotion, bhakti, everything we are doing, but how we can know Krishna loving?
Oh, how do you know Krishna is loving you? This is a good question, huh? And I told you 4 symptoms of advancement. Bas, by that only. I told you it's answered. Then you know Krishna is loving you. That's all. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. And I just want to tell you these are my, he just told crazy ideas. This is my book. See, I can't tell you so many things in one lecture. And if I tell you, all of you will be in toilet, having loose motions. You'll not be able to digest what I tell. There's so many things to tell. I can't tell you. And you can't even understand it if I keep on telling you. It will be overloaded. It's like this is also overload, 18 chapters. So what I did, I recorded lectures in this pen drive, this 16 GB pen drive. So I have recorded lectures on Gita, systematic lectures on Gita, on Bhagavatam, and Nectar of Instruction, and Sikshashtakam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So these are some 190 hours of, this is Hindi, this is English. So Hindi walo ke liye bhi, English walo ke liye bhi. So you can put in your car, you have USB slot, this goes in the car. And maybe in your phone or whatever, and keep on hearing. And so then you will slowly get all your doubts, questions solved and whatever. So that's, you can, if anybody wants, you can take this. And this is one book I have written, Crazy Ideas for Preaching. Anybody who is preaching, who wants to preach, or who has their own doubts, all questions are solved in this. So what is aim of life? What is religion? Why there are so many religion? Why there are so many scriptures? Why Shiv Puran is saying Shiva is supreme and Bhagavad is saying Krishna is supreme? So there are so many questions in our mind. What is service? Why should we be vegetarian? All these questions which people ask. So I put it in. That's why I named it as Crazy Ideas. It's all crazy ideas. So most of the part of the book is wrong, by the way. Because I have to first tell what is wrong. I have to tell you what is wrong. No, people know, but they don't know that they don't know. So they say, yeah, okay, everybody is God, but they even don't understand what they're saying. So we have to tell them, what do you mean by saying everybody is God? So many things I put wrong, but then I have given a proper perspective. Not only from Gita, but I have quoted Vedas and philosophy, Indian philosophy. There's so many quotations I have done. So this book, and this is one book for devotees, Mighty Efforts, as you told, that you need a lot of endeavors. This is one book, Mighty Efforts. You have to put a lot of efforts to advance. It's not a joke, by the way. We say chant and be happy, and you will be happy. But then in that happiness, don't forget your goal. And to achieve goal, you need to put efforts. So that, how to put efforts, how to advance, what are the steps to Temple of Love of God? There are 9 steps. At each step, what is going to happen with us? It has to be scientific, no? So everything is mentioned in this book, according to many books of Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And that's pretty much. This is one book, Guru Kaun. This is Hindi. Agar koi Hindi wale hain वैसे यहाँ पर क्या? Some of them, but very less. Okay. So you can, if you want these books and pen drives, you can get from me here. And thank you very much again for attending this lecture. Hare Krishna. Isn't that book Science Fails to Explain Life? Science Fails to Explain Life है इसमें?
Hare Krishna.
In the email there was some mention of Vedic college starting by Prabhuji in Vedic.
Yeah.
So did you
we are opening by the way, this is one more I just forgot to tell. Science fails to explain. I preach to scientists. My job is preach to scientists. This is my side business. Congregation preaching. What is expected out of me is to preach to scientists and youths, because I was a doctor and as well as scientist. I was doing research in genetics. So I've written a book, Science Fails to Explain Life, where you can read how science is completely bewildered about life and genes and all this stuff what we hear. No, nobody understands what is even genes now. People are even confused to what is gene. That is also confusion. There are big confusions here. So, okay, that Vedic college, we are opening a Vedic college in Punjab, or maybe perhaps Vrindavan. We are planning to open Vrindavan. And that Vedic college, why we are opening is because Prabhupada wanted, in his letters Prabhupada has written, that every temple of ISKCON should have a college. But it didn't happen. Because you have to train people, no? You have to train people. Just like these small programs are going on, nice. But those colleges will provide professional teachers. So Mridanga teachers, Kartals, or maybe if you want to learn Vedas or Upanishads or a Vaishnava philosophy. So that Vedic college is primarily open to actually tell this world what is our Indian culture, Indian heritage, and our Vedic books and the pinnacle of Vedas, Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So people can come there in summers and winters. That's what we are planning. We will offer crash courses there. So like from America, if you come for 2 weeks, 3 weeks to India. So 2 weeks you come in college, stay, learn whatever you want and go back. And maybe so many youths are there in India. Summer vacations have nothing to do. So they can come. And also this college will serve as Varnashram. Prabhupada wanted Varnashram societies. So we are going to open Varnashram villages. You know Varnashram, no? Farmhouses like. So we'll open that, but we have to train them also, no? Prabhupada wanted that we should live on land, grow our food, keep cow, make our life simple. That was his vision. Because economy of the world is going to collapse at any time. We know what's happening. So then the cities will close. Everything is going to go bad. Cuba has already faced this. You know Cuba? Cuba has already faced this peak oil crisis. It's crashed. Economy is crashed. Everybody is on land, growing food. So Prabhupada said, do it from now. So Prabhupada wanted we should make a life simple. This is a complex life, no? Job, taxes, loans, this, that. Just go on land, get a hut, grow your food, keep a cow, drink milk, finish. Chant Hare Krishna. So it's very simple. It's very simple. If you want to do it, it's very simple. Even you can do it now. But there has to be a model for that. Everybody cannot do, no? Like, okay, this way. So we are setting that model. But people who go there, what they are going to do? What they are going to do? Whole day. So they have to be trained how to farm. Nobody knows from city, no? How to milk cows. Or how to probably, how to make food. Chakki. There will be no electricity there. No? You're living with nature. So all these things, skills have to be learned. So that college will provide skills. You learn, be trained, go and stay. And call others from this nonsense city life. Wasting time, wasting energy, wasting money for nothing. That's Prabhupada's vision. And that is the most important thing which we are aiming for by opening this Vedic college. To contribute to this movement, and it'll help for next 10,000 years. It's going to be Prabhupada said like that. So that's time.
How many we have in India like this?
We have just one, probably 1 or 2. One Bhakti Raga Maharaj has done. Not college. College, there is no college. There are farmhouses. Bhakti Raga Maharaj has in Karnataka. Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj, my spiritual master, he has in Gujarat one. Govardhan Eco Village, Pune, Chopati has. That's not exactly a Varnashram community, not farmhouse. It's an eco village, but it's not come to the level of Varnashram system. Probably the next step will be that. They might be planning for that. But there are, okay, if you include that, 3 of them, that's it. But there's no college. And that problem is coming now because when people are joining, or they don't know anything. How to get them trained? So where are teachers? So that college will provide teachers. So people who come to farmhouses, now they have a lot of time, so they want to learn Sanskrit, suppose. No, everybody wants to learn. So where they will go? Who will teach them? Who will teach them? If they go to Banaras, you take 12 years to learn Sanskrit. Nobody has time, So we have made courses. I was in process of making courses, Sanskrit, philosophy, and small courses for modern people. So we can teach Sanskrit in 1 month. That kind of course we have made. You will not remember sutras, but you can understand. So that's the purpose of that college. So bless us so that it can happen. It's not easy. It's almost impossible. But anyway, Prabhupada says, think big. There's no harm to think big, no. If you don't think big, you don't think anything. And then you think nonsense. So we can dream, at least we can dream. What's the harm in dreaming? It's a good dream. Rather than dreaming nonsense. Better dream is, so that's the idea. I hope it will happen by another 2-3 months. Okay, thank you for that. Anybody wants books and pen drives? Please come.
Hare Krishna. So again, let's thank His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhu for the wonderful summary of the entire book.
Okay.